Hi friends, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. Today's March 25th, 2014. Time for our daily Forex chart review. Basically in these sessions each day at around 8:15 a.m. New York time, that's 1:15 p.m. GMT time. Today we're a few minutes late. I go through the daily Forex charts on 20-some Forex pairs, share my perspectives, the trades I'm putting on, the adjustments I'm making in the markets to the positions. If the terminology I'm using is unfamiliar to you, check out InformedTrades.com. We have a whole bunch of learning material there to help you come up to speed, learn all sorts of styles of tradings and even other markets. So it's a lot of information to help us learn. So definitely check it out, register as a member, and we can all learn together. Okay, so let's get started. As is customary for those who have seen these videos before, I do like to start with trades that I already have on at the moment. Now I have on right now. What we're seeing is a chart of Euro Swiss, which I am long. I'm long Euro Swiss, and my stop is at break even. So my stop is at that red line, which is where I enter also. And that position is going in my favor, so that's reassuring, at least for the time being. So that's Euro Swiss. So far, so good on that. I also am long dollar Swiss. Now, because I'm long, well, if I do see any other opportunities to go short Swiss, I probably would take it because I have my stop at break even. But I am short dollar Swiss. Those are actually contradictory positions, or in one trade I'm going long Swiss, another trade I'm going short Swiss. I think that's justified, especially because the one pair is long Euro Swiss, which is Euro Swiss operates according to its own dynamic. Yeah, so long short dollar Swiss, that is slightly in the money. I entered at the black line here, this bottom black line. My stop is at this red line. If we can close below this orange line, I will move my stop to break even. Now, yesterday we did dip below, we didn't close below it. Let's zoom in a little more, make that a little more apparent. Yeah, let's zoom in a little more even. Okay, so you can see we dipped below, but we didn't close below. This is a pretty bullish candle we're having today, so that's not the most encouraging sign, but let's see how things fare. So that's dollar Swiss. No real action to take at the moment on this pair. I am also long pound yen and Canada yen. So let's take a look at pound yen. And we'll zoom out a little bit here. So long pound yen, long at the black line, stop at the red line. That position is slightly in the money. I'm not going to move to break even until it closes above the orange line. This does look like there's accumulation going on, and we have a bullish checkmate here. If you're unfamiliar with those terms, just search on InformedTrades, and that's a whole idea. But basically, this technical setup here, trading range, is really favorable in my opinion. A breakout is coming in some way. A trading range always precedes a breakout, so we can expect. I think it's going to go a bullish breakout because that's the way the long-term trend is, but we'll see. So I like that, but no real action to take. And what's the other one? Canada yen. Okay, this is encouraging. Now I entered at the black line, so this position is still out of the money, but it is encouraging that now my stop is at this red line here. This right here, in hindsight, it's always 20/20, but there is a support level here, and that's the support level that I should have entered at. If I could have timed things perfectly. But at least it's encouraging to see the price rallying off the support, which suggests my stop might not get hit. We'll see though. First, we have to go, at least about 80 more pips just to get the break even, and then we'd of course want to go higher from there. So that's the story of my existing positions. I have 4 positions on at the moment. One is at break even, so I have 3. If my stop gets hit, I'll lose money on 3 trades. I risk about 0.25% per trade, so that means my account balance would fall 0.75%. According to my approach, I really don't want to lose more than 1% at a time. I don't want to have more than 1% account exposure. Meaning if all my stops ever get hit, I don't want to lose more than 1%. However, I can have more trades on if my stop is at break even. And right now, my stop is at break even on one trade. So basically, all that is to say that I have room for one more trade, and I like to identify that at the outset of each session so that I know what I'm getting into, how much ammo, quote unquote, I have when exploring new opportunities. So with that said, let's take a look at the charts. Euro Australian dollar. 50-15 is an interesting level. I'm not sure I'd enter here because we do have a pattern of lower highs, but it's definitely something I'd be interested in. So let's see what the candlesticks look at when price falls to 50-15, if it does. Euro Canada. Okay. Still need a pullback here. I've been saying that for months. It still remains true. Those who have been in on this trend and have gotten to ride it to the max, that's always there's two parts. One, identifying what's going to trend, and then two, riding it and making the most out of it, having a large position and getting the most out of that trend. That's a different story. I was not in this trend, unfortunately, so I still need to optimize my trading to learn how to identify trends like this. But in any event, if it's a great trend, so if we get a pullback in a trend, I'll be interested. Right now, just let's see, but 52.33 maybe is a level 2. Actually, let's update the Fibonacci to here, and we'll start that from here. Yeah, so right here we have some confluence. If we fall to 51.82, right around there, 51.80, something like that. So that's still 270 pips away. That could be an interesting opportunity on Euro Canada. Euro Swiss we looked at, Euro Pound. Okay, and I talked about going short Euro Pound. Of course, timing it is key. And ultimately, I just didn't like the. It's hard to identify where to put the stop. That's where I'm struggling with Euro Pound, but I think I can put it. Let's see. Well, price is also now above the 50-something moving average and the 200 exponential moving average. So that weakens the argument that we're still in a bear trend. It's also broken out of the price channel. And price is sloping upwards here. So we'll come back to this. Maybe there's something on Euro Pound, although I'm struggling to phrase it. So, in my opinion, good trading is you want to get to a point where good trading is easy and effortless, where it's not a struggle to put on each trade. You just identify it instinctively. That's sort of what you want to get to, and hopefully there's the idea if you put in 10,000 hours, you get expertise, proficiency. But I don't feel that if I'm struggling with a trade, all that is that if I'm struggling with a trade, I kind of want to pass on it. If I'm not seeing the opportunity immediately, instinctively, I kind of would. To me, it's too much. There might be a better opportunity. It's better to wait for something where I do feel like that. Euro yen. If we can fall to 137.80, that'd be interesting. Until then, I also have sufficient yen exposure, so I'm not too worried at this point. Long Canada again and long pound yen. Euro Kiwi. Okay, now I do have an entry order to go long Euro Kiwi at that black line, which almost got filled 2 days ago, but it did not. Let me just make sure that entry order is still on. And yeah, so it's 73 pips below where the price currently is, which is a lot on a lot of other pairs, but on Euro Kiwi, it's it's a very volatile pair. I still like this trade. If it can fall 73 pips and fill my entry order, I'll be glad, or I'll view that as a positive thing. Especially if that happens like tomorrow, or maybe today's what, Tuesday? So if it happens Thursday or Friday, that'd be really nice because I'd really like for it to occur outside of this trend line. You see this downward sloping trend line here? If we can wait a couple days and break above it, break outside of it, that would be very favorable in my opinion. That downward trend line we sort of have to outlive it. From my perspective, I think it'd be favorable to do so for bulls. That's euro kiwi, euro dollar. Okay. Euro dollar. I am short dollar Swiss, which is very similar to euro dollar. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to put on additional trade, other than dollar Swiss. If we can fall back to 37.70, that could be interesting. Although really 36.88. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait till we fall to 36.88. That's where I have the real confidence. And I already have some exposure via dollar Swiss, so I don't see the need for additional exposure until price gets really, really good. Let's go to pound actually before we go to dollar Canada. Let's go to pound Aussie. Okay, pound Aussie is broken below, and we saw a similar formation on euro Aussie, where there's a similar support line, but there's also a pattern of falling lows. It turns out looks bearish now, so um, that's sometimes you wait for a pullback, and when you get a good pullback, the market has actually turned bearish. So there are various ways of accounting for that, or trying to protect against that. But that is definitely one of the issues with swing trading that comes up. In any event, this now looks bearish, so I'm actually more interested in let's see if it can rally, and there could be an opportunity to short. But I'll skip anything with pound Aussie now. Pound Canada. Okay. We also have a bearish checkmate here. A range. This looks like a potentially interesting short. Yeah, if I short pound Canada, well, it's a counter trend trade, and I kind of don't want to do that at this point because it's going to run into, there's not. You see this here. If I shorted this black line, I've been looking at this trade for a while. Short this black line, I'd want to put my stop at this red line. Maybe even further out, but it's too congested. Similar to euro pound, and that often happens in counter trend situations. Pound Swiss. Okay, big rally in pound Swiss yesterday. That's encouraging for bulls, but I still want to see price rally. I still want to see. Yeah, I kind of don't want to do anything with this at the moment because this still looks a little too choppy to me. Let me see what looks like on the weekly chart. Yeah, it's still pretty choppy. We'll zoom out a little bit. The trend isn't as clear as I'd like. Okay, so I'll skip on pound Swiss. Skip pound Swiss. Pound yen. We're in this trade, right? Yeah. Pound yen, we are in. We already looked at that. Pound kiwi. And so that's an interesting support level. We see the same thing on Euro Kiwi, and I have that order on Euro Kiwi. So if Euro Kiwi gets filled, pound Kiwi will most likely get filled. I don't see the order. I don't see the need to put on an order. But it is an interesting trade, and I think going long in 91.55 could be an opportunity. I have that exposure via Euro Kiwi, so I don't really need it. But that is encouraging to see it, to see the correlation. And pound dollar. What's going on here? What happened here? Ah, okay. Let me see. So that's pound Kiwi. Let's go to pound dollar. Okay, that's pound dollar. Hmm. Looks like it could be a buying opportunity of sorts. It's an uptrend, and let's zoom in a little more. Yeah, just not seeing enough signs. So, oh well, that's interesting. Hmm. Let's see if we get some more. I want to see a little more candlestick confirmation of price at 64. We could probably move this a little higher. 64.50 basically. That could be. We right now we are at 65.10, so 60 pip decline. But I want to see a couple candle. I want to see a little bit of a trading range and a couple candlesticks. I say it repeatedly, and it's still one of my favorite signs to look for. So when I don't see enough independent of candlesticks, I definitely want candlesticks. My favorite confirmation. It gives me real-time confirmation, which is why I like it so much. I think it's the most timely indicator. So that's pound dollar. I'm going to pass on that for now. Let's look at dollar Canada. Okay. This looks like it's finally declining. Let's update our Fibonacci lines. And okay. Hmm. Well, if we can fall to 111.30, that could be an interesting buying opportunity. We'll see though. Still have a little bit of ways to go. Still got about 60 pips to go. So maybe tomorrow or later in the week there could be an opportunity to buy dollar Canada, which um, I've been expressing interest in doing for quite some time. Although even then, to be honest, I don't know if it really meets all the requirements I'm looking for. I'd want to see candlestick confirmation in that case. I'd feel more comfortable buying at right around here, 110.50. To me, that's a really nice level to buy at. Where we have good support and a deeper pullback, 61.8 retracement from this low here. Okay, so that's dollar Canada. Let's look at dollar yen. Okay, pattern of lower highs in place on dollar yen. I missed out on this entering here, which is unfortunate. Um, but let's see if we can cross above the 50 simple moving average. I've also got the yen exposure I want through Canada yen and pound yen. Neither one of those positions that break even. When I can move one of those positions to break even, then I may be interested in adding more to my short yen position. Dollar Singapore. Okay. This has confused me of late. Let's add another horizontal line here. And let's add a trend line.
That Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so at this point, I think I'd be most interested in buying at, let's see if we can get some more confirmation. Maybe at, here's a good support level. Yeah, if we could fall all the way to, well, I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. I think I oscillate between being bullish and bearish on dollar Singapore. Now I'm leaning towards bullishness. 26.29 is the level to buy at. There's support there. But we'll see. At this point, right now we've had 3 down days in a row. Let's see if that can halt at some point or reverse, or let's see how that ends up playing out. 3 big down days. So I don't want to enter on a big candle. That does it for the dollar pairs. Now let's go to the Canadian dollar pairs. Canada Swiss going to be very similar to Euro Canada. Still waiting for that pullback. We are seeing a bit of a reversal here. So maybe we will actually make it to 80.33. That'd be an interesting level to short from. Until then, though, it's time to pass. Canada yen we already looked at. We're long that, and let's see if that position is slightly out of the money, but let's see how that ends up playing out. I'm going to hold on to that and see where it takes us. So that's it for the Canadian dollar pairs. Now the Australian dollar pairs, Aussie Canada. This is really running away. Nice channel here. If we can pull back in this channel to right around here, that'd be an interesting level to potentially buy at. So that's Aussie Canada. Waiting for the pullback on that. Aussie Swiss, very similar to Euro Aussie. This now looks bullish to me. So if we can get a pullback now to 79.45, I think Aussie Swiss, yeah, Australian dollar has been in a big downtrend, but now it looks like it's finally starting to rally. So now I think the trend has reversed, at least from a daily time frame. So I'm more inclined to look for long Australian dollar opportunities at this time. Aussie yen. Yeah, this is had a good rally here, and this would have been a good trading opportunity. Although I've got my yen exposure, as I've noted. If we can fall to 88.09, that could be an interesting buying opportunity, but we'll see. I'm going to pass on Aussie yen for the time being, as I have the yen exposure I want. Aussie Kiwi. We see this is rallying as well. Now it is coming on to coming near the top of the price channel. So let's see if we can get to 107.50 and how price reacts when it does. That could be an interesting short opportunity. Of everything we've discussed so far, shorting Aussie Kiwi at 107.50 is the opportunity that I'm most interested in at the moment. But that time is not yet, perhaps later in this week. And Aussie US. Okay, we are, I can delete this. Yeah, it's still rallying here. The Australian dollar is really rallying now, so there might be an opportunity to short Aussie Kiwi coming up, but we'll see. Everything else is bullish, and I'm now in the mode of waiting for a pullback. Aussie Kiwi is the only one where I still think there could be an opportunity to short it coming up. But that's about it for the Australian dollar. Now let's go to the New Zealand dollar. Kiwi Canada. Yeah, Canadian dollar looks like it might finally be ready to rally, although I've said that before and it hasn't been true. So let's see. Actually, this time 92.41 is the level I'm looking at. Let's update our Fibonacci lines as well. We can extend this one all the way up here. Yeah, so 93.56 maybe is the earliest. We'll see. Any event, Canadian dollar starting to rally, and Kiwi Canada has been the most upwards trending, sharpest acceleration. So there could be a sharp pullback too. We'll see how it plays out. 92.40. Honestly, if I were to pick a level to ideal, the level I'd most like to see it fall to and enter at would be 92.41. If we can fall there, that would be really nice. Kiwi Swiss. Okay, yeah, this is similar to the Euro Kiwi trade I have on at the moment, or the order I have on that hasn't gotten filled yet. But this looks like an interesting short opportunity. When we see these reversal candlesticks, 1, 2, 3, 4, long wicks all off this level, very similar to bearish checkmate pattern, that's a nice short sign. So I don't need to trade this because of, Swiss and Euro are very, very highly correlated. So, and I am long Euro Kiwi. I have that order in, which is basically the same as being short Kiwi Swiss. So there's no need, but it is encouraging to see the confirmation on Kiwi Swiss. Kiwi Yen. Yeah, I have my yen exposure at the moment, and this seems no real pullback here, or not enough of a pullback. If we can pull back to 85.62, that might be interesting. But for the time being, I will pass. And Kiwi dollar. Okay. This is a little interesting. Let's actually, I guess we can add a price channel here. Um, yeah, there's just not enough of a pullback at this point. I really would like to see it fall to 84.42 on Kiwi dollar. I don't know if it will, and I can see some traders are feeling comfortable based on the candlesticks and the support levels of entering at 85. I'm not one of those traders, but I definitely see the logic. But basically, I will pass on Kiwi dollar unless we get a bigger pullback. So that's about it for the charts today. I'm not putting on any orders. I do have 4 trades on at the moment that are live in the market, and I have 1 entry order on Euro Kiwi. I'm not seeing any other opportunities that I really like at the moment that are sufficiently different than what I currently have on. So from that perspective, it's just a matter of waiting and seeing how things play out. That's about it for this session. If you have any questions, anything you want to add, check us out at InformedTrades.com. Best of luck in your trading, excuse me, best of luck in your trading, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care.